Hey guys, I wanted to give you an update on some of the bling that I've put on my 130X. I've got a stock model, or a relatively stock model, and then I've got one that I've spent way too much money on. And I think it's fair to share with you guys what is a good buy and what is not. First of all, if you're into the way it looks, buy whatever you want, that's cool. If you're working on a budget and you want to watch what you're spending, I'll cover a few things that really make the heli kind of jump out. First of all, I'd like to start out with the LiPos. I might have covered this in the first video, but the stock battery 35C gets the job done. However, Flytown has got a 65C 5C charge rate, 450 milliamp, and you can get these off of eBay. It's the only place I've found. They're two for 24 bucks, I think, but significant performance increase. I definitely see some spunk in the junk when I fire it up. Going on to the heli itself, as you can see here, got a little bit of everything on here. From the tail forward, I've got the Raycon heli tail blade grips, Raycon heli pitch slider, Raycon heli tail hub. I believe this is a micro heli tail fin, or maybe it's Raycon. The little push rod, strut holder, servo holder, the Swash, the collar, the center hub, and the blade grips. First of all, when I first put this together, I had the micro heli tail hub on here. And some downsides to the micro heli tail hub. First of all, it kept coming off. It kept sliding back on me. And despite putting a little piece of tape in there, trying a little CA, I eventually got fed up with it and just took it off. Secondly, micro heli tail hub, right here on the C gear, there's a small little bushing that when you lose your gear, which you inevitably will with the micro heli tail hub, that little bushing falls off. Unfortunately, that little bushing costs $1 a piece from your LHS. So that's just something to keep in mind. I've done very well with the Raycon tail hub. I like it. I did have a problem with some vibration. Ended up snapping off my fin and filling up the hole here. So I ended up taking a strut support and mounting, I'm sorry, this is a 250 fin off a T-Rex 250, and it actually does quite nice. Helps the CG a little bit, locks the tail in real nice. The micro heli tail blade grips, thing that you might want to be aware of, there's two versions. There's a version that requires a proprietary tail shaft, meaning you've got to buy the micro heli tail shaft, and there's a version that comes without. The version without that tail shaft has got these little tiny bushing spacers that have to stack in there on the stock. So kind of a pain in the butt. I'm testing those out on my other model right here, and I'll tell you about that in a second. If you're using the Raycon tail blade grips, you cannot use KBDD tail blades unless you file them down. It's a real tight fit. I don't know if you can see in here. It's a real tight fit, and you will have to file it just enough. I don't know if you can get a shot in there of that. And the other thing you're going to notice with the Raycon heli tail, there is a boatload of slop in here, and I don't have them on here now, and I should, but I was putting grommets in here, little canopy grommets there, and on the other side, to help take up some of that slack, and it did. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the Swash plate here. Looks nice, no complaints. I did have to put the grommets on here as well. Doesn't come with it. And really, to kind of put this up against the stock Swash, I probably got, let's see, 80, 90, 110 crashes on these, and every time I go fly these, I I pull probably 10 crashes a piece, and it's not because I'm a horrible pilot, I like to think. It's because I fly very aggressive, and I try to pull out all the tricks that I want to pull on my 90s on this to get to practicing. So, saying that, I have never, ever, ever had a problem with the head of the stock unit. I have never broke these blade grips. I've never broke a swash plate. I've never even lost a pitch link off of this. I've never bent a main shaft. I've never bent a spindle shaft, feathering shaft, whatever you want to call it. The weak link for me in my style of flying is these, where the bolts pass through, do strip out after a while, and you'll get this play in the blade. And as a result, you can get yourself a little nut and snug it up there to get that to kind of tighten up there. As far as the metal ones go, I have hit concrete, I've hit my house, I've hit myself. I've done a lot with this, and this is a tank. And the nice thing about the bolts here, it holds them real snug. The only thing that I can comment on is the Jesus bolt here does occasionally back itself out, and you do get a little bit of slop there, and you've got to go in and hit it with some Loctite, which I always seem to forget to do, but that is something you can look for right there. In terms of the stock model, if I was just going to fly and tell somebody, hey, here's some solid advice, get yourself a metal tail pitch slider. I've gone through about 6 of those, the stock ones, and go ahead and splurge and buy yourself the metal tail blade grips. These are the micro heli that don't require the proprietary main shaft or tail shaft, and I'll tell you what, the slop, there is no slop on these. They're real tight, and they didn't even require the grommets. A little bugger to get the pins in here and over here, but all in all, really pleased with the performance of it. Last word about the metal. The more metal you put on, ultimately it does defer crash damage to other parts of the heli. With this particular one, I am running the metal A-gear. I think that's crown. Thanks, Coach. My metal crown gear. And what I do notice as a result of everything being so rigid, if you're going to set it up like this, buy yourself a bunch of main gears, because I stripped that one pretty good. That and my C gear, occasionally a D gear. But parts I've never broke a tail boom. I splintered one lightly in the early days that I just painted up with CA. The struts, never ever broke those. Tail push rod, never. Tail fin, quite a bit actually. These little tail fins, you might stock up on that. Tail blades, unless I'm really banging on concrete, no. $3.99 for a bag of the gears and main blades. As far as servos, links, this little guy right here, do yourself a favor, go to the local hobby shop and just buy some carbon rod stock and just cut it off as you need it. And these come apart, of course. But all in all, I'm really super pleased with this helicopter. It's very durable. Finally got her tuned in to fly the way I need it. And if you're going to have some parts on stock, grab yourself a main gear, maybe a landing gear, some fins, definitely your ABC gears. But as far as the head goes, folks, mine is rock solid, and I have beat the tar out of this thing, and no problems at all. Main blades, always good to stock up on those. And another comment about the blade quality. As far as visibility goes, the colors help, but as far as performance goes, I see them use the words high performance here and there. I'm really not seeing any difference, even with the bullet blades. So it's my understanding that there was some comment made in one of the forums that the bullet blades will help you eliminate the tail wag. There's a lot of possibilities for that tail wag, and buying the upgraded bearing set, you know, for your tail. That's another good recommendation for you too. But all in all, you know, these are my 130s. I pound on them regularly. If I find out any new tips or tricks, I'll pass them along to you. You know, and actually, as far as the stock motor goes, stock pinion, these are working out great for me. I get some awesome speed, and these little guys right here give them a little burst. But all in all, I'm digging them. Hope this helps you. If you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks.